How I was tricked into rejecting Christianity, part two.
As antithesis to the Judeo-Christian culture and bring about a Zionist state in Israel. Did it achieve this objective? Yes. In fact, after this war, Israel, in its present form, was reinstated under the protection of Britain. And then, interestingly enough, a Third World War, a Middle Eastern war involving Judaism and Islam.
And this was written in 1871. World War I was planned, World War II was planned. Completely planned.
And spreading internationally. Well, here's another quote, just in case people don't like that quote. Mazzini with Pike developed a plan for 3 world wars so that eventually every nation would be willing to surrender its national sovereignty to a world government. The first war was to end the Tsarist regime in Russia, the second to allow the Soviet Union to control Europe, the Third World War was to be in the Middle East between Muslim and Jews and would result in Armageddon. Interesting. Now, how were they going to do it? Let's read what Albert Pike wrote about these wars and how they were going to be unleashed. He wrote, quote, "We shall unleash the nihilist and the atheist," so the destroyer and the atheist, "and we will provoke a formidable social cataclysm which in its horror will show clearly to the nations the effect of absolute atheism. Origin
Other places you can find that they were hunting for a person, and they found Hitler, who was completely prideful and expansionist, and they found the person that they needed to be a figurehead of this whole mess, in World War II at least, but they're talking about this in each situation.
Origin of savagery and the most bloody turmoil. Then everywhere the citizens obliged to defend themselves against the minority of revolutionaries will exterminate these destroyers of civilization, and the multitude, disillusioned with Christianity, will receive the pure light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer. The destruction of Christianity and atheism, both conquered and exterminated at the same time." Wow, what a clip.
So you got the Russian Revolution, and then people getting upset at these people uprising against the leadership, and you've got these two sides battling.
Have a plan. So you rub the two systems which you create up against the other. You create atheism as an antithesis to the Judeo-Christian culture. You have these two clash until they rub each other up, and then out of that you will get a new world order where you have a new religion which is far more esoteric and actually honors Satan. Isn't that a rather clever plan?
Honors Satan.
Well, it's very successful. That is why Ordo ab Chao is the verse, if you like, that Freemasonry uses.
Order amidst chaos.
That I photographed in a Masonic lodge. And Weishaupt is the father of Jacobinism. You will remember that we spoke about that in Revelation chapter 11. And Jacobinism was the power that propagated the French Revolution. And we did this in Revelation chapter 11, where the Bastille was stormed, liberty leading, the goddess of reason was enthroned instead of Christianity.
So the kings of Europe had accepted Christianity, and then they ended up setting themselves up as the bosses of Christianity. And since they were the bosses of Christianity, and Christianity was not in homes with confession and communion and good cheer and leading by the Holy Spirit, they turned Christianity into a Jesus information business that was run by the kings and the prime ministers. So that was an easy thing to rise up against and destroy. So during the French Revolution, they were not lifting up Christ, but they were lifting up truth and reason as the most important god against a polluted Christianity.
Christianity was removed and another reign began. The monarchy was deposed, and Louis and his wife lost their heads, the beheading of Marie Antoinette, and that put an end to that monarchy.